Today is April the 2nd, 2024, and this is episode 3 in a 4-part series focused on some key revelations in the books of Jonah and Joel that point to the upcoming eclipse. The messages in this series are crucial for all Yah-only Israelites and those Hebrew Israelites whom Yah is calling to join his remnant. This video is being produced as a Yah-ordained partnership between two channels, Yahuwah Lives and Melissa Yisrael. The inspiration for this teaching came after Melissa saw the path of the eclipse going through multiple cities called Nineveh, and Yah began to reveal to us a hidden meaning in the book of Jonah and the book of Joel. As we count down to the eclipse on April the 8th, Yah has directed us to teach the children of Israel how the story of Jonah outlines the journey from Israel's rebellion to waking up to our Hebrew identity, to becoming Yah only, and most importantly, it shows us what is required of us during the eclipse. In the first video, we focused on Jonah chapter 1, and we explored how Joppa represents the place of our rebellion. The ship represents our travel toward idolatry, and being thrown overboard represents our awakening and partial separation from paganism. The fish represents our continued reliance on the idol of Christianity. In the second video, we focused on Jonah chapter 2, where we studied how what happened in the belly of the fish symbolizes what the remnant must do. We must remember Yah and declare that salvation is of Yah only. In this third video, we will examine Jonah chapters 3 and 4 to understand how Yah wants to use Yah-only Israelites during the eclipse and beyond. Now let's follow along with Melissa as she reads chapter 3, and we'll see what Yah has revealed.
Jonah chapter 3, verses 1 through 10. And the word of Yah came to Jonah the second time, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and proclaim to it the message that I am speaking to you. And Jonah arose and went to Nineveh according to the word of Yah. Now Nineveh was a great city before Elohim, of 3 days' journey. And Jonah began to go into the city on the first day's walk. And he cried out and said, Yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. And the men of Nineveh believed in Elohim, and proclaimed a fast, and put on sackcloth from the greatest to the least of them. And the word reached the king of Nineveh. So he arose from his throne, and took off his robe, and covered himself with sackcloth, and sat in ashes. And he proclaimed and said throughout Nineveh, By decree of the king and his nobles, no man or beast, herd or flock, shall taste whatever. Let them not eat, let them not even drink water, but let man and beast be covered with sackcloth, and call mightily to Elohim. And let each one turn from his evil ways, and from the violence that is in his hands. Who knows whether Elohim does turn and relent, and shall turn away from the heat of his displeasure, so that we do not perish? And Elohim saw their works, that they turned from their evil way, and Elohim relented from the evil which he had said he would do to them, and he did not do it.
Now, to understand Jonah's role in this chapter, we must first understand his name. Jonah's name means dove. And in the story of Noah, he released a dove from the ark to see if the waters had receded from the earth. And the dove finds an olive branch. Well, in this story, Yah releases Jonah, whose name means a dove, to see if he can help to gather the remnant. Notice that in this chapter, it begins by saying that the word of Yah comes the second time. This symbolizes Isaiah 11:11, where it says that Yah shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and Egypt and some other places. Keep in mind that Assyria's capital is Nineveh, and this eclipse will be visible or partially visible by 7 locations named Nineveh. Second, he will gather them from Egypt. Now keep in mind that this 2024 eclipse, when combined with the 2017 eclipse, intersects in a place called Little Egypt. And the 2027 and the 2034 eclipse will intersect over Big Egypt. And there is a huge prophecy in Ezekiel 29 that predicts the destruction of Egypt. In verse 15, Yah says that Egypt would be the basis of all kingdoms and shall no longer exalt itself any more above the nations. He says that he will diminish them and that they shall no more rule over the nations. Let's get back to Jonah. The word comes to Jonah the second time and tells him to arise and go unto Nineveh, that great city, and preach unto it the preaching that I bid thee. Now this symbolizes what Yah is calling for Yah only Israelites to do prior to the eclipse. He is sending us out to preach, but we must preach only what Yah tells us to say. And at that time, Jonah was instructed to tell them, yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. Now this symbolizes our need to warn the people of coming destruction. History records that the Ninevites worshipped Dagon, which was part man and a part fish, and that the chief deity of Nineveh was the Assyrian fish goddess Nash. And some have argued that the people believed that Jonah came to the city as one sent by Nash to preach to them. So the scripture says that the people believed Elohim and proclaimed a fast and put on sackcloth, from the greatest of them even to the least. And the king joined in and sent out a proclamation asking everyone to fast and cry out mightily to Elohim and to turn from his evil way and from the violence of his hands. Now it's interesting to note that it does not say Yah heard their cry nor their prayer, and that might be because they did not cry out to Yah only, since the word Elohim can apply to any god or multiple gods. Also, notice that later Yah said they cannot discern between their right hand and their left. This symbolizes Israelites not being able to discern between Yah and a pagan deity. David said in Psalm 16, I have set Yah always before me, because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. But it appears that despite their continuation in idolatry, Yah saw their works, that they turned from their evil way, and he did not destroy them. Why does Yah do that? Because he is giving them time to see the truth. But that doesn't mean that they are safe forever, because eventually Nineveh was destroyed. For us, it means that Yah is giving his remnant more time to turn away from their idols and become Yah only. Now let's listen to Melissa read chapter 4.
Chapter 4, verses 1 through 11. But it greatly displeased Jonah, and he was grieved. And he prayed to Yah, and he said, Please, Yah, was this not what I said while I was in my own land? This is why I went ahead and fled to Tarshish. For I know that you are an El showing favor and compassionate, patient, and of great love and commitment, and relenting from doing evil. And now, O Yah, please take my life from me, for it's better for me to die than to live. And Yah said, Are you right to be displeased? Then Jonah went out of the city and sat on the east side of the city, and made himself a shelter there, and sat under it in the shade, to see what would become of the city. And Yah Elohim appointed a plant, and made it come up over Jonah, to be a shade for his head, to deliver him from the discomfort. And Jonah greatly rejoiced over the plant. But as morning dawned the next day, Elohim appointed a worm, which struck the plant so that it withered. And it came to be when the sun came up that Elohim appointed a scorching east wind, and the sun struck on Jonah's head so that he grew faint and asked for his life to die and said, "It's better for me to die than live." And Elohim said to Jonah, "Have you rightly become displeased over the plant?" And he said, "I have rightly become displeased, even to death." And Yah said, "You felt sorry for the plant for which you have not labored nor made it grow, which came up in a night and perished in a night. And should I not pardon Nineveh, that great city, in which there are more than 120,000 beings who have not known their right hand from their left, and much cattle?"
So we see that Jonah is angry and doesn't even want to live. Yah causes a gourd to grow up over Jonah to teach him that if Jonah can pity a gourd that he did not labor over or make grow, that came up in a night and perished in a night, surely the mighty one of Israel can spare a city for the sake of 120,000 people who cannot discern between their right hand and their left. So what is the message for Yah-only Israelites? The message is, as you spread the message that Yah only is our salvation, remember Exodus 33:19, and understand that Yah will have mercy on whom he will have mercy, and will have compassion on whom he will have compassion. Next video, we will look at some specific actions that Yah is requiring us to take during the 2024 solar eclipse from the book of Joel. So stay tuned for part 4.